Hello crafty friends, welcome to another video. In today's video we'll be creating our own mixed media paper. Now if you've seen any of my mixed media type videos before, you'll know that I love to use mixed media paper. My favourite is Daler Rowney. It's a very robust paper and can take pretty much whatever you throw at it. But the only downside of it is that it is not a white, it is a slightly off-white. And that can look a bit jarring if you put it on the front of a white card blank. So instead of using the Daler Rowney mixed media paper today, we're going to take a regular smooth white cardstock and turn it into mixed media paper. And to do that, we're going to use clear gesso. I've got Dina Wakley Media Clear Gesso Artist Quality Primer here, and this is used to prime paper. It comes out of the pot white, but it will dry clear. And it acts a bit like a sealant. It will stop the paper soaking up watery things. With this piece of smooth white card, I'm just brushing it on, giving it a liberal application and making sure it is well and truly covered. So this part is going to have brush strokes in it. I'll do the other side here. Again, I'm going to give it a liberal application. And to get rid of the brush strokes, I'm going to use my brayer to just roller it out a bit. This will give it a different texture, but it will, as I say, eliminate the brush strokes. You could also use a scraper like this. This is a cake icing scraper, and you can just remove a bit if you've got too much using that. And I think I'll just roll it over it again. I've got another piece of the white card, same as the other one, and some indigo blue clear gesso. I've not tried this one before, so this will be a voyage of discovery. I like the Dina Wakley because it's very smooth. Some clear gessos have a lot of grit to them, a lot of tooth, but the Dina Wakley is very smooth, and this feels smooth as well. So I'm going to brush all over this with a liberal amount again, and I'll give it a roll on one half with my brayer. Now I seem to have added quite a little bits of hair on there. I think it's come off my clothes, but that's okay. So I'm going to leave these to dry for a little while. Once they're dry, you can put a second coat on if you think you're going to need it. Also, if you don't want to do this process every time you want to mix media on your cardstock, then just have a little bit of a priming session one day and prepare a whole pile of card that you can draw from when you want to do mixed media on regular card. Those papers have dried now, and I cut them down using a stitched rectangle panel. This is my indigo blue one, and this is the Dina Wakley one. They do feel different. The Dina Wakley one feels a bit rougher than the indigo blue one. I've also cut a panel of untreated cardstock and a panel of the Daler Rowney mixed media paper. I thought I'd do a bit of a comparison. I flip those over and tape them on the back, just makes it a little easier to work with while I'm videoing. And I'm going to start by spritzing them with some of this DIY shimmer spray. This is made with water, white shimmer powder, and some drops of Peacock Feathers Distress Oxide. So I'm just going to spritz down the middle a bit. And then I'm going to smush out from the centre using my mini smusher. And I think I can already see that the plain cardstock is absorbing that colour more quickly than all the others. I think I'll add some more, and I'm going to leave that to dry naturally. I will pick up some of these deeper pools though, because they're just going to take forever to dry. Right, those have all dried. I have given them a bit of a blast with my hairdryer. And now I'm going to do some stamping. This is to add visual texture, and I am using archival ink in Paradise Teal. So I'm going to do it 3 times on each panel, one coming in from the top, one in the middle-ish, and one coming up from the bottom. And this is a indigo blue rubber stamp with grungy numbers on. I decided to use archival ink because it's permanent, so when I put more liquid on this, it shouldn't run. And now I'm going to get some Liquitex light modelling paste and add it in 3 places on each background. So I've added 3 patches of texture paste to each of my panels. This texture paste dries white, but it will absorb some of the colour from underneath. So it may well go a teal colour. Right, we need to let that dry for about an hour. It's been a couple of hours and my texture paste is well and truly dry. I'm going to give them each another squirt with that Distress Oxide shimmer spray that I made. And I've got some Uncharted Mariner Distress Oxide re-inker here. And I'm using this because I want a concentrated version, a stronger version than I'd get if I put my ink pad down on my mat. So I'm just adding some, using a wet paintbrush, around the 3 stamped areas. And I'll do some more squirting just to help that ink run and move about. So I'll tilt it, help it spread. I'll use a bit of tissue to dab up some of the excess and leave that to dry again. So I've helped each of those along with my hairdryer, and I'm going to add a little bit of copper gilding gum just by adding some with my finger, glancing it over the texture paste, and it should hopefully just catch some of that texture. So it just brings in a bit of shimmer and shine and a complementary colour. I'll do that to all of them. I'll use a microfiber cloth just to go over that and remove any big blobs because I don't want them coming off later. And now I've got some bleed proof white ink. I'm going to add some of that to my mat, dilute it with a bit of water and spatter it on. I will dry this with my hairdryer because I have diluted it, so it may well absorb some of the colour underneath as it's drying. So I want to dry it quite quickly. Right, I think that's the backgrounds completed, and I think I've got very similar results on the 2 pieces I covered with the Dina Wakley and Indigo Blue clear gesso. Not dissimilar to the mixed media paper. This one is absolutely fine. The paper is held up really well. It's not fallen apart, but the watery media soaked in a lot quicker than it did on these. And so you've got a much softer effect. Here you get some puddling. And when I'm doing mixed media, that's the kind of look I'm going for. I like the edges and the pools and the puddles. This is pretty though, but not quite as defined as these, I don't think. So this is the Dina Wakley gessoed piece. I've just picked that one. So I've put some high-tack white glue on the back of this. I'm going to stick it onto some white card and then trim it down to give it a border. And I've put some glue on the back of that now, and I'm going to give this a nice narrow black border too. And now that's going to go on a 5 by 7 inch card blank. For my sentiment, I've got a nice bold thank you. This is a print and cut one. You can download these sentiments for free from a link in this video's description. I popped it up on craft foam to give it a bit of dimension, and it's roughly on this intersection of the rule of thirds grid. Now I can add some kind of embellishment here over the texture paste on this intersection. Actually, I've decided to go for this large piece of foliage. I think that will work really well. The main weight of it is around this area, but it's long, so it stretches across all the texture paste. I've cut this from copper cardstock. Is a matte copper. I'll put some high-tack white glue on the back, and I've also cut it from vellum, and I'm going to lay this on top offset so you'll be able to see the vellum behind. And now I'll add some more glue to the back. Before I add my finishing touch, I thought I would show you the mixed media paper. So this is the white cardstock with gesso on it, and you can see how the mixed media paper looks a lot creamier, even with the blue spray all over it. So if you want to try mixed media on your regular cardstock, the same cardstock you use for your card blanks, then give it a go. If the cardstock falls apart, maybe try priming it with gesso first. I'm still going to keep using my Daler Rowney mixed media paper, but I'm going to be mindful as to which cardstock will give me the better result for the idea that I have. So you may well see some gessoed white cardstock cropping up in future videos. Now for my finishing touch, I'm going to add white Nuvo drops. These will absorb the colour of the ink, so they will end up a nice teal greeny blue colour. They just add a little bit of something different, a bit of extra dimension and texture, a bit of gloss. If you want your white Nuvo drops to stay white when you put them on an inky background like this, you can prepare them in advance by putting them on some sticker release paper, double-sided adhesive release paper, and you can leave these to set, and once they have, you can peel them off and glue them down to your project. And because they'll have already set, they won't absorb the colour of the ink underneath. Just put them somewhere where you're not going to stick your fingers in them. Right, that's today's idea video done and dusted. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been helpful. If it has, do let me know in the comments. And if you'd like to see more from me, do subscribe and ring the notification bell. And I'll see you back here very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.